Broads Media.
How about that Landon Dickerson extension? Wow, what a day. A change in philosophy coming from the Philadelphia Eagles. I would have never saw it coming in a billion years. At least I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not a knee-jerk reaction. I hope it's not a splash just to try and please a fan base that's clearly aggravated with what we saw last season. But I'm excited. I haven't been this sports happy in a long time, just as a fan. Picturing Saquon Barkley in a Kelly Green jersey. And I know DeAndre Swift had a good statistical career. And I know that Miles Sanders helped out the squad way more than he hurt the squad. But damn it, Saquon Barkley is a different animal. This dude is a dog. This dude is different. This is a different style back. Now, we need to hope that it all comes together. We need to hope that Kellen Moore can provide a beautiful offense where he's getting a ton of carries. I don't want this to be similar to when I saw a three-headed monster in previous seasons and Kenneth Gainwell's getting the ball in the 2-minute offense. No, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Put Saquon Barkley in the game and give him 20-plus carries to make the contract worth it. Because honestly, it's a lot of money in a position where we've seen good teams with LeGarrette Blount and then a Jay Ajayi trade. All right? With Miles Sanders, so you draft and then you burn the few years you have before you have to pay him, and then eventually you let him walk out the door. He goes to Carolina where they screw up the whole Brian Burns thing. They could have had $1 billion first-round picks not too long ago, and now they're shipping them to New York. Good move for the Giants, but they're such a mess that it doesn't really matter to me. They're incompetent. They're a joke. So good for you. You got a good defender, and you opened up the paycheck for him. But when you allow Saquon to leave Daniel Jones and this and Tommy DeVito, oh, the New York Giants. Watching Tiki Barber right now go back and forth with Saquon Barkley. It's tremendous. It's tremendous because I'm going to watch him go off. He's going to whoop that ass up in MetLife. And I heard Giants fans trying to sort of cope with it and say, so what's the difference? Instead of Boston Scott, it's Saquon Barkley. You're still beating us anyway, so it doesn't matter that we let him go. And as much as I wanted to think of a rebuttal, it doesn't matter. You're right. You're right. We're bending you over no matter who's out there. So who am I to really scream at you that it's Saquon so it should hurt more? It should hurt when it's Boston Scott. With all due respect to Boston Scott. Who the hell's Boston Scott? And he always burns you down. So whatever. Saquon does this for a living. You know, I don't think that he'll be as impactful as Christian McCaffrey was to the San Francisco 49ers, but it's closer to that than some of the other names that I mentioned with how they've operated from a running back perspective in years past. DeAndre Swift, that's awesome. Miles Sanders, that's awesome. Saquon's closer to Christian McCaffrey than not, but it's not Christian McCaffrey level. It's just weird, though, and it's odd, and it does make me a little uncomfortable because I know that there's a billion holes with the defense. Here's what gives me some faith, though. They're aware of that, too, and they were so damn close to snagging another giant in Xavier McKinney. So they know. They have their eye on the prize. They want a safety. They want a game changer. They want someone who is very good in this league, and they want them at the safety position. They almost got that. So it's on their radar, and I have to give them some time because, well, Howie Roseman had a hell of a first day. Now let it breathe, let it settle, have some others pop off the board, but be ready to pounce. And I do anticipate Howie Roseman continuing to prowl. They took a flyer on a linebacker, one-year deal, nothing crazy. They acquire Bryce Huff. Oh, man, I'm super stoked to see what he can be. And, yeah, he's 3 years with $34 million guaranteed. So he might lack a little bit with the run defense and stopping the run, but he is tremendous at getting pressure and quarterback hits and also with double-digit sacks. I'm excited. That's a typical, prototypical Howie Roseman type of snag. And, yeah, it's great. I can't wait to see the fit. Preferably, I'd keep Hassan Reddick and have Hassan Reddick and Huff. That tickles my fancy more than Huff and Josh Sweat. Just saying, if you do manage to trade one of the two guys, I thought it was very strange, though. And this sort of flew underneath the radar over the weekend. But on SI.com, John McMullen is where I saw this tweeted out. And multiple team sources told SI.com Eagles Today that the organization was disappointed with how the defensive front played during the defensive collapse last season, particularly regarding discipline and what was being asked. Why would that get leaked? Over the weekend, before free agency began, why was this released to SI.com? Who wanted that out? Now, was it Howie Roseman? Because, well, the reports were definitely loud and out there that, hey, they're making phone calls with Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick being the headlines of it. And we want to tell the fans why. Hey, just to let you know, this is what was going on. We were not thrilled with both of them, but doesn't that actually hurt you? Because if you're trying to maximize your value and maximize what you're getting in return, then in what world would that benefit you with negotiations? Yo, Howie, I see it. I see it in writing right there. I know you called that reporter, damn it. I know you told him to put that out there. You didn't like what they brought to the table, so I'm going to use that against you, bastard. I'm just saying. Maybe something like that happens. But I want to play audio from Lane Johnson. And this was during the middle of the season when, or March, wait, this was uploaded on March 9th? Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm completely wrong. This was back in January 16th, this was stated. It was quote tweeted on March 9th. And Howard Eskin had the video. It is Lane Johnson standing in front of his locker. And it says, Lane Johnson is apparently not very happy with some of the things he saw and the way some of his teammates may have approached some things at the end of the season. Ready? Take a listen to Lane Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times, I mean, even when you look out the course of the season, you know, what I tell my guys, the O-line, you know, no matter what the fucking scoreboard is, you play, you know, no slopping, no fucking clapping your hands, no sulking after bad plays. You go up to the line of scrimmage like nothing fucking happened, like a robot. And yeah, I mean, I think something that's needs to be addressed. You know, think far as concerning next season. You don't want to give your opponents anything. I mean, they see that shit on film. You know, sulking, bad body, all this stuff. You know, you can't give your opponents anything. So
on that note.
So I'm not telling you that he's talking to those two in particular, because seriously, that's not what I'm doing at all. But there are obviously examples of one of the biggest leaders in the room, in a locker room that once had a billion great leaders. Now it's dwindling down to just a couple. And that person is speaking very, very, very methodically to the world that we have some things in here that just aren't going to fly. And I'm trying to figure out, as this franchise builds a whole new identity, as they're looking for a new culture, and as Brandon Graham said to John Clark on his Takeoff podcast, and we'll get to that in a second, they're really trying to establish something new here. So I'm just thinking in the back of my head, and I'm putting pieces together, if they are willing to get rid of a few names, and maybe it's just as simple as we can't pay both, we like Huff more than Sweat, we're trying to get younger. Maybe it's just as simple as that, and from a football standpoint, they feel it's not worth it, what Hassan's going to get paid, this and that. Okay, it could be that, but it also could be the fact that Lane Johnson's even telling you there were things that can't continue. So when they move on from someone, I'm going to wonder whether it's fair or not. I wonder if that's someone that they feel isn't going to fit for a particular reason, maybe Lane mentioned. Okay, here's Brandon Graham on his final season and thinking about this locker room.
I'm going to go look for the one who want to fill those shoes, who want to try at least, you know, who want to see what it takes, see take themselves to another level of, all right, man, Kel's not here. Who gonna be the guy? And so I just want to see who gonna be the guys that step up, because when we gone, somebody gonna be walking around with that torch, and I hope it's in the right hands.
Now, I think that's fascinating because it's almost like he's watching from a distance. All right, he's been in the trenches for so long. He knows this is his final ride. This is his goodbye. He's going to enjoy the regular season. He's going to embrace every game at the Link. But he's watching closely with his arms folded in the side of the locker room. And the fact that he's hoping that it gets in the right hands and he wants to see who's going to get that torch. I hope I say this correctly, because this is a day where I'm happy more than I am not happy. But I'd be lying to you and doing a disservice for you if I hid away from some of my feelings, just because it does skew negatively just a tad here on a day where we should be waving pom-poms. And I agree with that, and I've been desperately waiting for something to truly get me sports excited again, because I have been down in the dumps for a long-ass time. I feel someone in that room should already be stepped up, where you don't have to question if it does get in the right hands. I hope it gets in the right hands. There should be someone who's already known, a couple of guys, where it's already known and labeled, they are it. Maybe it's Landon Dickerson after a nice payday. Maybe it's Jordan Mailata now that he's more comfortable. He knows the game. His play on the field dictates more confidence, right? Because when you first get started, yeah, hey, here's the rugby dude or the Australian guy who's just getting thrown into left tackle. But once you realize and you make yourself one of the best in the league, then you can start to talk more and be vocal. Maybe it's Jordan Mailata who has a funny, goofy little personality there. I don't know, but I just would feel if it's an automatic and there's someone in the room that already has that level of leadership in there, or his voice hits the guys a certain way, that should already be known. And the fact that Jalen's name, I don't know. Maybe I'm picking way too much into it. I apologize. I promise I'll shut up and I won't do it. But I do want to also touch on, maybe, though, the reason why that they were willing to pay Saquon Barkley is he has that. Maybe it's Saquon Barkley. He did do a hell of a job up in New York just from a professional level, the way he handled his business, the contract negotiations, how he worked with the whole, hey, we're going to put the franchise tag on you, this and that. I'm still showing up. I got my teammates back. I'm here for them. The whole thing. I think Saquon Barkley does have an element where when he speaks, the fellas will listen, and higher than most do. I'm excited for that. And maybe they were willing to put a couple extra dollars, and in this case, a couple extra $1 million to the Saquon Barkley price tag, because they're losing it in Kelsey, they're losing it in Fletcher Cox, and sure, maybe it's $2 million more than they would have liked to spend on Barkley, but you are getting something back in return than just the product on the field. He's going to bring a voice too. So we're going to put that into our price tag in our evaluation. Once Swift ended up going, and then Pollard ended up going, Tennessee and Chicago, you're like, whoa, why are these running backs flying off the board? But there were a lot of national reporters that were very, very, very in on the Philadelphia Eagles actually being involved. No smoke screens. This isn't just media leverage play. The Eagles are actually picking up the phone and seriously talking to Saquon Barkley, his agency, getting this thing swirled up. And that's just fascinating because they don't do this. They really, really don't do this. Now, why are they doing it is a fair question. Is it truly because they want to try something different and they want to get away from maybe what they were doing forever? I don't know. Maybe the salary cap has grown so much that they feel they have more wiggle room and let's take a shot. Or they think Saquon Barkley's that good. Hey, he's that good. He's going to change this offense that much. It's going to really help Jalen Hurts, who we're still trying to figure out exactly who he is as a quarterback, because his first year was promising, first year as a starter. You go to a Super Bowl and you look like an MVP, and then last year it was all out of sync. So who is Jalen Hurts if we get Saquon Barkley and Kellen Moore together with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, a really strong offensive line still. Who is going to stop them? And if we just at least put together a reasonable defense, because we won't go from one of the worst defenses to an elite defense in just one offseason, but if we can get stability and we could be fine and we could be serviceable and we could be good, if we could be average, but our offense has a capability of being a top 2, top 3 offense with all those scary weapons, well, that's our recipe for success moving forward here until we continue to really pick off pieces in free agency down the road, or maybe make a trade, or maybe it's drafting somebody. We'll apply new faces and better talent to our defense. So now we're mediocre, but maybe next season, not the one coming up, the one after that, we're our mediocre team defensively, middle of the pack, average to a tick above average because we got a corner in the draft. We got a linebacker in free agency, and this is more just setting the tone for the defense and making sure the foundation's there. They'll continue to blossom on that end throughout the next few years while their offense is ready to rock. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. I just hope it wasn't to win the fans over because it's an identity crisis and they're having a knee-jerk reaction because of how sour everybody is feeling right now, so they just felt obligated to do something to try and stir the pot and make everybody happy again. That's normally not how Howie Roseman operates, so I'm just covering my ass here on every single possibility. It did strike me different, though. I'm pumped because I just visualize him being great here, and he didn't miss as many games as you feel. Now, that doesn't mean he's not banged up, but just from a statistical standpoint, when I looked at his stats and I looked at his games played and I was trying to see how many games did he miss, he really didn't miss as much as all the collective noise was about him. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Can he go? Can he not go? And that's probably still going to happen. Now, hell, if it's happening at 24, 25 in this league as a running back, it's probably going to happen when you're getting closer to your deep 20s. What I really thought they'd do at running back by the end of this was either one name would slip and you'd get somebody on the cheaper that had a powerful name, or you go the A.J. Dillon route, the Singletary route, so you get a 3-headed running back room, and you can switch between A.J. Dillon and Singletary and whatever. You bring Boston Scott back or something like that, and that's what they do. Madison. But I like this, and I'm excited because this offense can be crazy. What else is crazy is, well, what we do here at Broads Media. And we are on a mission to continue growing in every way possible. So if you are enjoying this, make sure to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. And I want to let you know that Sports Talk with Broads is available for you on all podcasting platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you can leave a 5-star rating and a review. It will go such a long way, and I can't thank you all enough. I'm enjoying reading those reviews. And also, we have more Broads Media content coming your way. Coffee with Broads is back starting March 28th, which is opening day. You could join the Broads Media membership here on YouTube for $4.99 a month, and you will have access to Coffee with Broads live streams every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. It'll be laid back, super chill, very interactive with the chat. So there's also a Broads Media Discord channel, too, that is currently active where we communicate all day long when things are going on in real time. Make sure you check out all the information down below in the description. I'm excited to start Coffee with Broads live streams again March 28th. And make sure if you're interested, you grab a membership today. The Huff one thought a no-brainer. Now, I thought no-brainer. All right, no-brainer. That's definitely Howie. It's not about when. It's about how much and the years. Really. How much in the years? How are they going to make this work? How are they going to make this fit? That's what it was about for Huff. Now, where do they go with safety? Would I bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Yeah, I would. I wouldn't mind that at all. And somebody reached out to me and asked, why? Why wouldn't I mind it, considering he hates Philadelphia? He said it on his Twitch stream when he was playing video games that we're the most obnoxious people in the world, and he does cause controversy in the locker room. So if you're going to despise A.J. Brown, and if you're going to despise Darius Slay, why would you open up the door for C.J. Gardner-Johnson to return? And my answer is very simple. Because I don't see C.J. Gardner-Johnson as a leader of the franchise, of the entire Eagles crest of the logo. He's just a guy. And complimentary, he's better than just a guy on the field. But in regards to, yes, he's got a bigger personality, but I don't look at him as what A.J. Brown views himself. I don't look. A.J. Brown said, I'm the one that stands up for the bullies or to the bullies for my team. I'm the one that's getting heated, inspiring everybody on the sideline. I'm the one. I'm the leader. I'm this. I'm that. A.J. Brown feels that way. Darius Slay feels that he is the man as cornerback one of the defense, especially in a defense that doesn't have a true leader with the linebacking core, with Fletcher Cox anymore. All right, here's Darius Slay. I'm that guy. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's a starter with a loud personality. You're never going to have just everyone not have crazy personality. Someone's going to have crazy personality when you throw 50-plus men into a locker room playing football. If it happens to be a starter, fine, I can live with that. It can't be the leaders that are, quote, tweeting Pro Football Focus after your team loses by 30. I'm sorry that that's the standard I set, but that's the standard I set. So I could be cool with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Maybe they look down in Washington and they flirt around with some talent down there at the safety position. We'll see. It would have been so nice, though, to get McKinney. That would have been solid. It would have been solid. Just would have been one hell of a day. But they're aware. And I also wonder if the shift in philosophy is also going to be different with the linebacking core. So I ask, is it a knee-jerk reaction? Is it to try and win fans over? Or is it we noticed that what we've done has gotten us to a certain point, but we can still improve. So we're not going to run away from loving the trenches. We are still going to build within the trenches so that someone like Landon Dickerson, who could be a first-round talent, who slips in the second round because there was fear of his knees. I mean, this dude was breaking down left and right in college. He's getting all these problems done to both knees. It was just a mess. It was so much. And when you're able to find guys in the trenches with high upside, work with Jeff Stoutland, keep them healthy, they could be maybe arguably one of the best guards over the next 5, 6, 7, 8-year window. We're going to keep churning out linemen on both sides of the ball, but we can be more open in other areas. And if they do it at running back, will they finally do it with the linebacker position? Van Ginkel's off the board, and the only reason why I keep referencing his name over the last few days is because of his tie with Vic Fangio and the time that they spent together in Miami. So I just thought there might be something there, but you have to do more at linebacker. You cannot run this with Nakobe Dean and then 1 year prove it guys that have limited snaps with New Orleans or anything like that. It just doesn't move the needle for me. I need more. I do. I need more. The defensive ends, though, is Nolan Smith ready? Well, damn it, he better be. Now it's real young. Isn't that what Howie said? We're going to go young? Well, you got Huff, who's young. Jordan Davis, young. Jalen Carter, young. Nolan Smith, young. Brandon Graham, not so much. Sorry, BJ. Not so much, man. Oh, man. I can't believe he's still going. You know, it made me ponder a little bit on my drive today. I was actually thinking about how nuts it is that we have these core four in Brandon, Lane, Fletch, Kelsey. Dude, that's not normal. What we experience with these guys, it's not normal. So don't take it for granted is essentially my point. It's kind of running out now. I mean, you get a farewell tour from BG, and you got a few years left to Lane. I guess maybe I should have had this conversation 5 years ago to make sure over the last 5 years you enjoyed it to the full extent. But no, it's reality. It's reality. This is not normal. So maybe in a second universe, we can go back-to-back with the core four, and those four guys I just laid out all on your line. How lethal. It'll be like the Bash Brothers and the Mighty Ducks that can get a whole nickname, and that's who they are. You got Smith, Huff, Carter, Davis. I don't know. Sounds like a boy band. But anyway, and we just see him for 15 years, 3 Super Bowls, 6 NFC championship games. I'm just spitballing out my ass. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the Anytime Hotline. Let's take some phone calls from the people. Let's do it.
Yo, Brody. First time caller here, but just seeing the Saquon Barkley and the Huff guy, I forget his name.
Bryce.
But,
I know
Jets,
Josh Huff.
Just seeing those trades, the free agents signings for those. And I don't know, with Saquon, I can't help but feel like kind of like in the middle, to be quite honest. Like, sure, we got Saquon, and I know the Giants are fucking sick as fuck right now. Ha! But I think, for what it's worth, we definitely got a better running back, but, I do get a little scared about the whole injury factor and, things like that. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. But what's really on my mind is definitely I want to sign Devontae Smith. I hope we get it done by the time, at least training camp starts. And, yeah, let me know how you feel about that. Devontae Smith. We got to re-sign him.
Oh, he's getting signed. Oh, no doubt. I don't know when. I don't know when Howie Roseman's going to pull that magic out of his hat, but there's no doubt in my mind Devontae Smith will be a Philadelphia Eagle for another contract. They are getting that thing done. I'm not even worried about it. For 1 second, I'm not even worried about it. Now, here's value at the running back position, though, and I'm curious, would you rather? I guess there's two would you rathers. The first would you rather is, just hypothetically speaking, if you could sign McKinney and not sign Saquon Barkley. And I heard Tom Kelly bring this up, and he's fired up. He is not happy with what was given to Saquon Barkley. And TK is a host on WIP, if you're unfamiliar. He does a really good job, and he is not thrilled with it at all. He just doesn't think that that's the best way to utilize your assets, and I see where he's coming from. This organization has preached that forever. We're not getting Bijan because you don't do that. We're not spending a lot of money on the running back because you don't do that. We're allowing Miles Sanders to go because you don't do that. So they either believe he's that great or he's really, really great with the addition of his leadership too, because they're losing so much in that category that you also have the leadership with a very good player, and that's solid enough for them to make the decision, or they're having an identity crisis. But one of the other opportunities that, let's say it wasn't McKinney, let's say it wasn't Barkley or McKinney, here's a running back that was available in Austin Eckler, who signed a 2-year deal up to $11.4 million or so. You see the difference in upside and how much you're spending compared to what Saquon Barkley got and some of his guaranteed. So those are just two things to throw out there. No Barkley and McKinney, just so pretty much you use that money in safety, but you didn't have running backs yet. Would you rather have went down that path? And I would have been all right with that. If they didn't sign Barkley today, and we would have had no knowledge of this happening, and it was McKinney and Huff, you get a defensive end and a great guy who's able to get to the quarterback, and a safety with the defense that was hosed last year. They were getting hosed every single night. So I would have been absolutely pumped for that. Would I rather have Barkley than McKinney? I feel I would. And I'm not just saying that because they did it. I think Saquon's ceiling helps this team more than McKinney's ceiling, even though McKinney's ceiling would still be very fun for this defense at the same time. So that's how I see it. And then what was the other one I brought up? Oh, the Austin Eckler thing. I would have been thrilled with that Austin Eckler attempt too. If they signed Austin Eckler for a deal that's up to $11 million, I mean, we'd be mad at that? Absolutely not. McKinney, Austin Eckler, and Huff. It's a pretty damn good day at the office. Pretty damn good day at the office. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's do it.
Well, Howie Roseman. I hope this is the plan. I love re-signing Landon Dickerson. When you lose Jason Kelsey, you need continuity, and there's somebody to keep it going for years to come. I like the Bryce Huff thing. I really do feel like it could be another. I know it's not the same position or anything, but the same equivalence of when Chip Kelly bring over Kiko Alonso, and you're going to trade away Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick for Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith. I worry about that, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Saquon Barkley was a hell of an overpay, but I can't sit there and say I wasn't excited about it. I would have rather allocated another $10 million to another defensive position and just bring back DeAndre Swift. See you, bros.
Well, DeAndre Swift got a nice paycheck with the Bears. So once you saw what he was getting paid, you realized where Saquon Barkley was going to be. I agree, though. I think your final statement was pretty much right on the money there. it was hard to be mad at it, even though I am a little skeptical, probably more skeptical than most because good teams don't throw that much money at the running back position. He's such a great talent that you got me. You got me. All right, I got something. You got Saquon frickin' Barkley. Of course, I'm going to be thrilled. I'm going to be excited about it. So, Saquon Barkley, I can't be mad. We'll see where it all goes. But it was a good day for your Philadelphia Eagles. It was a damn good day, and it's been a while since it's been this positive on the Eagles front. So it's nice. It feels good, and I'm happy about it. And we'll continue this great conversation and taking all your calls throughout the week as we continue to talk Eagles free agency. So if you want to leave a phone call, 856-442-9805. The phone number is available for you 24/7. If I didn't use your call today, you will be potentially selected for some shows down the road. So leave a message, and I love you guys to death. Thank you all so much, and I'll be talking to you soon.